I'm just glad this car looks the same as it did when it came off the truck. On to Kansas, where they have lights. I tell you what, whenever the billboard would go white, I'd see a lot more. What a mess, man. Make sure you stop me all the way in here, please.
Copy.
Hi, everybody. Austin Cindric joining you from my garage. Glass case of emotion. I'm obviously not Ryan Blaney, so he's off. I'm here joining some friends, talking about some things and stuff.
Yeah, stuff and things. It's always fun to talk about stuff and things with friends and things and stuff.
And you already get points because you have a way cooler background than Ryan ever does. And it looks like your internet's working better than his does too.
I'm just racking up the win column right now.
You are.
Happy to start off good. It's going to go downhill.
Well, you say what's behind you? What's getting worked on there?
So this is Earl. Earl is my 1993 Volvo 240 station wagon, and I bought Earl off of Craigslist.
Okay.
I'm V8 swapping him, not just any V8, a Coyote V8, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically the engine that comes in a Mustang. So it's basically the most ridiculous car you could ever imagine, and I'm building it myself. So it's been fun. It's been quite the undertaking. It's taken me a lot more time than I ever thought it would, and as you can see, it's still not sitting on the ground. So got a lot more work to do.
I knew I liked you. I liked you from the first time we met. I knew that I liked you. I'm a Volvo guy myself. I'm now on my third Volvo station wagon.
Really?
They are like beasts. They're hard to they're hard to kill. They're hard to kill. I had a 87 740 GLE. That was my first car. And It caught on fire in the parking lot at Western Carolina University after it had just crossed over 300,000 miles. So, and it finally just said, screw it, I'm done, and just spontaneously burst into flames.
So there's a great YouTube video out there of somebody trying to kill their Volvo 240, like putting dirt, water, running it out of oil, running on the rev limiter for like 6 hours straight, and they still couldn't get the motor to blow up. And the motor's like this cast iron block. Like the motor probably made 96 horsepower. This obviously has like 450, and it weighs less. So it's going to be pretty stout. So I'm excited.
Hell
like
yeah.
a Frankenstein car.
It is. And I mean, I've obviously gone to take measures. I got big brakes for it. Got the proper suspension. I've got tires that are way too big for this car. So trying to get all that to fit. I honestly did debate setting up my filming inside of the car and just try to make you guess
what type of car it was, or just guess where you were.
Yeah, just guess where I was, because I mean the interior's, pull it out of it. But yeah, it's been fun. I drove it around for 2 weeks after I bought it. Well, I took a one-way ticket to Kentucky where it was. It was like a 2-year ordeal trying to find the perfect starting car.
So did you know you wanted to go with the Volvo to begin with, or was it like, I want to find something that will fit what I want, or how'd you settle on the Volvo?
Initially, I wanted a station wagon with a manual transmission. Station wagon, you get the storage and you get the performance of a regular car. But I also wanted it to be weird, stupid, and boxy. And when I raced in Sweden for a Swedish rally team, I spent plenty of time up there during the winter, and these cars are like gold up there because they made millions of them. I mean, this is like the best-selling Volvo ever. They made this model from 1974 to 1993 and fairly unchanged. So pretty much the Swedish redneck thing to do is to soup up your Volvo 240 and drive it into a snowbank. So anytime we'd pass one, all my mechanics, my teammates, everyone would go crazy. They'd start yelling, random things in Swedish that I didn't understand. And slowly that built the passion for this car. But there's also like a weird parts market for this car for that reason, because the engine bay is, big enough to obviously house a motor that size. So it's been easy to find parts for it, but I don't think anyone's taken it this far.
Where did the name, you said Earl?
So the previous owner named it. So
okay. I was wondering what the origins were.
No, and I still to this day, I don't know if he just because I drove to his house. Like I literally took a one-way trip to Kentucky to go find this car and decided I wanted it. And I drove to this guy's house and drove it around. I'm like, hey, does it have a name? And he's just like, Its name is Earl. So I'm thinking that he came up with it on the fly, but it's stuck. It's got a hula girl on the dash as well. It came with the car. He was gracious enough to give me Layla, the hula girl as well. So yeah, I pretty much bought the car on the spot and drove it 7 hours back in the middle of the night, which is a cool story. Other than the fact that it was a bit terrifying because the lights didn't really work and it's kind of mountain roads. So, but I had the heat works. Oh man, Swedish cars in heat works. Like I was sweating. I mean, it was like, I think it was just after Thanksgiving. So I was, it's fairly cold out. I mean, I took my shirt off. It was so hot in there and I couldn't get it to turn off. It was fantastic.
Now, does it have a sunroof or is it a solid?
No,
solid
no sunroof. I did go to the junkyard. I found one that was there that had a really nice roof rack from like one of the 80s models. So I've got it sitting on top. You probably can't see it, but I got it sitting on top there right now. So I'm going to get that fitted up at some point.
So what's your goal for the interior? How are you going to, I know you're doing everything to the engine, but like you said, you had the interior stripped. What do you want to do in there?
So I had to get a strip to get a lot of the wiring out because I pretty much gutted the whole inside of it, but I'd like to keep it mainly stock, at least stock looking. Obviously, having a 450 horsepower Ford V8 isn't exactly stock, but
Ford did run Volvo there for a little bit in the 90s and 2000s. So
something that makes this cooler, because the only thing that's cooler is the motors and the tires. Everything else is just stupid and hilarious. Is that Paul Newman and David Letterman both got Volvo station wagons with Ford 5-liters swapped into them. They both did it together as their own thing. I learned this only after I told the world that I was doing this. So now it puts me in that club.
Yeah.
So I think
you need to get a meetup with them somehow.
Yes. I have to get it done first, and then I'll hit up David Letterman and say, hey, check this out.
Paul Newman might be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although we're getting close to Halloween. You never know. You never
know.
A little seance Ouija board inside the Volvo.
It's got to run first.
Yeah,
It's next to a miracle if this thing's touching the ground within the next couple months.
Is it me, or do Volvos have a very distinct in-car smell? Like the smell, it's like the leather, you get leather, is something about the Volvo. Maybe it's because, like, as a kid, my mom had a Volvo at one point, and I had good friends that had a Volvo, and we carpooled. But for whatever reason, like, the Volvo interior has a very distinct smell to me. So,
you'd have to ask my dog, because my dog loves this car. Literally loves it. So there must be something to the smell, because the dogs, maybe you've got a more canine sense of smell than I do, but Wallace is obsessed with this thing. Like, I'll work on it and he'll jump up in it and just sit in the passenger seat just to be there.
Now, have you watched the rap that's on YouTube by, I think it's Grinch? It's called My Volvo.
It sounds like I need to.
You need to, because he's rapping about his 240 DL. That's an 86, and the whole thing is VOLVO, my Volvo. It's pretty good. Like, it's a.
I do have planned out like a drop video for this car. Like not only do I have the drop video planned out, like to the background music, the location, I have the teaser for the drop video planned out.
Do you have someone to shoot said drop video? Because I may know a guy.
Sounds like you just volunteered.
Who can help you with that?
You heard it here. Kim's my witness.
I will to promote the Volvo lifestyle as I like to. I have somewhere in this room, I don't know where it is, the old Volvo badge from the one that blew up.
Awesome.
I kept that thing. Like, the thing about that is it was a Sunday afternoon, and I parked it at like Saturday at like 1:00 in the afternoon, and like Sunday afternoon is when it caught on fire. And they let us go back in the car while it was still on fire to get all of my stuff out. But they wouldn't put it out.
Thanks.
Just put it out of its misery. Like, it's done. No one wants this car.
Yeah. It was the Cullowhee Volunteer Fire Department. I don't know if they actually knew what they were doing.
The volunteer part.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fire departments, one of the stories that we sent over was about a Halloween house that they had like fake fire in there. And they have had the fire department called on them several times. So have you ever gone too far with your Halloween decorations?
So I read the article, and the part that I don't know if it's ironic, if it's makes more sense or more tragic, is that it's in California, and like California is burning. And so I feel like that's a legitimate concern. So I don't fault anyone for calling that in. But I have not gone too far. I think the best Halloween was best holiday as a kid, no doubt. Like adulthood has kind of ruined Halloween because, you don't get to be as openly creative.
Yes.
Maybe you do or don't. I don't know. But I did do mummy in toilet paper and was only in underwear. And by the time it stopped raining, I was pretty much just in my underwear. So.
What age were you? What age is this?
Last year? Was this last year? This was last year.
No, this was that was a penguin last year.
I know, yeah.
I think I was probably 6 to 8.
Okay.
Okay.
It wasn't too, it was still young enough to where it's still cute, not just disturbing.
Not 16 to 18.
No, at that point, 16 to 18, I mean, that's just you go around and steal candy at all the boxes.
You find the nicest neighborhoods when you're that age that give the full-size candy bars, and then you just run amok.
Yep, neighborhood down the street, they've got a haunted trail, so all the moms and dads, they set up on the trail, and all the kids, they come down the trail. So everyone who lives around this area leaves their house, and they leave in front of their house candy bowls. So that's where me, my bike, my friends, and our pillowcases make sure that their candy money was well spent.
Yeah.
It's always the pillowcase. I remember upgrading from the little jack-o'-lantern bucket to the pillowcase. It was I can get so much more candy in here now.
Yeah, my mom was not a fan of this idea, but she got on board enough to where the next year she at least got me a Halloween-themed pillowcase. So I even got mom to buy into the idea, which was surprising to me and me and my dad.
I feel like the candy market's missing out on the whole marketing the pillowcase as an option, like a pillowcase with a better handle. Maybe I don't know.
I feel like if you were really good, your costume usually incorporated the candy vehicle / if you were creative enough.
I was not that creative.
You worked the
Do you have an example?
Transportation mode for the candy into your costume, or matched it somehow. Unless you were just renegades like Austin and apparently you too, Chuck, who used pillowcases, but
I mean,
I can't say I ever used a pillowcase.
Do you have an example of such a vessel that you could dress up?
Yeah. So one year, I think I was in 3rd grade, I was painting. So I used to take art class. So I painted a huge canvas and then I cut out, it was a Picasso, and I cut out the face of the painting and then painted my face like the painting. And then I was painting. So I used a paint bucket, an empty paint bucket as my candy holder.
Went full scoop.
Or Dorothy. I remember I was Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz when I was in kindergarten. Toto. You have the basket with Toto. I use that. There's ways to do it.
Okay. I definitely was not thinking.
Every costume lends itself to that. But
I can appreciate efficiency. So kudos to you. It's good.
I think mine was Wyatt Earp one year, so there's really nothing Wyatt Earp had that you're gonna.
Unless he had a satchel. Would Wyatt Earp have a man purse?
I mean, he might have, but in the movies, I based it off of Tombstone, and in Tombstone there's no vessel. It's just he wears a scarf and a long coat, and that's it. So.
Coat, if you had a long trench coat with pockets.
Yeah, but then you can't fit as much candy in your pockets. You got to have something that you can fit a lot of candy in.
Fair.
Yeah. Speaking of candy, we haven't talked about it. We talked about a lot of stuff so far, but the Roval was this weekend, so it was a sweet treat for the fans.
Hey.
How was it behind the wheel Saturday in the Xfinity race? Because it looked like, for the lack of a better word, a shit show.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of characterizing it. I think from a competitive perspective, I think from a fan perspective, you always win. Now, the thing I did appreciate the whole race, and I even said this on the radio, that we got through halfway through and we realized we were going to be doing this the entire day, not just for 10 laps. The fans that were there did not leave, which I thought was awesome because they were pretty much in the splash zone in turn 1.
Yeah.
but for me, in the playoff position that we're in and the way things worked out, I pretty much just found a nice hole to where I could see and just circulated. So that's the most standing water I've ever had to deal with, not to mention no headlights, taillights. The rain tire honestly did its job. I was pretty worried about that. So kudos to Goodyear. But wow, holy cow.
I mean, was it as hard to see as it seemed like it was?
It was harder to see than it seemed like it was. I rewatched the race. I'm like, that's not even close. Like I was having my spotters spot the cars in front of me, so I had no one to brake.
Oh,
like
wow.
On restarts, it was so much of a whiteout, I couldn't even see other people's rain lights. So like he'd say, okay, you're five back, 4 back, and then I'd start braking when I knew, I'd start closing in at full throttle. So
that's crazy.
And then on the restarts as well, I'd have him tell me what brake markers I was at on the backstretch, so I knew when to hit the brakes because I couldn't see it. Or you could look out your side window and see everything. So it was extreme. I mean, rain, it's fine. The standing water was the bit that I thought was unraceable. And wow, there was a lot. There was a lot.
I gotta say, I mean, mad props to you guys for going through that, because it seemed like driving in the rain in general, and especially as it starts to get darker, sucks. Like that is one of the worst times. Like the way the glare is coming off of the asphalt, like it just sucks in normal conditions. But when you've got all that other stuff going on, it sounds like everybody on the team was working like double time to get it done, from the spotters to the crew to you guys and behind the wheel. Yeah,
I mean, to the point of darkness, I realized and appreciated the cars that did not have black on the rear bumpers. And this takes me back to when I did some ice racing in Sweden, so I'll circle back on that, because most cars in our field in the Xfinity series have black bumpers, and you cannot see them. You cannot see that car. When Riley Herbst got spun out at the top of turn 2, I had no idea he was spun until I was passing him and saw the white 18 on his door through my window. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I'm glad I missed that. But I realized when I raced on ice, all the guys I raced against had primarily white cars, and I drove a bright neon red car. And I got hit a lot. A lot. Like I got put in this, I don't know if it was because I was American, I was on their turf, whatever it is. I got either I was winning the heat race or I was getting shipped. And I realized it was way easier to see and follow my car than any white car. So there might be a strategy there if we're going more rain racing, have a dark car so no one can follow you.
For those of us, including myself, who aren't familiar with ice racing, just like a quick descriptor. I mean, I can use my imagination, but some specifics.
A lot of sliding.
Yeah. So a lot of sliding. Actually, a lot more grip than you think. So couple stories from my ice racing. Most of the time it's done on like a frozen lake. I did all of this in Sweden, and spike tires. So a really skinny tire, about that skinny, and they put spikes on it. And like cleats. Rally cars, 4-wheel drive, around 300 horsepower, fun little cars. And you have, it's rallycross, so it's six guys on the track at a time, and you work your way up through heat races and normal racing format for that kind of stuff. But
are these ovals, and like what length?
No, so they're probably like 1.5 miles track in length, but they're more of like a road course. They have jumps.
So legitimately like rally car.
Yeah. So rally car, rallycross type tracks. But one of the biggest, most famous tracks in Sweden called Helges is like they get 100,000 people for rallycross races every year. Everybody comes out of the woods. This place is halfway to the North Pole. It's freaking cold in the middle of January. Let me tell you. Oh my God, I've never been so cold. I learned sitting on the grid of the race not to leave my feet sitting on the pedals, because the metal is colder than just like leaving your feet tucked up to you. It was like, it's negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. But the driving's fun. Like you can pitch the car into the corner, stand on the gas, like because of the studs. Once you get the studs to bite into the ground, you can point the car anywhere. So it was awesome. It was so much fun. But before I did any of this, we as a team, we went and tested at this, big lake halfway up to the racetrack. And I got done. It was starting to get really blizzardy and couldn't really see much of what was going on. And I'd done enough outings to where I felt comfortable with what I was doing. I really didn't feel like wrecking my car, honestly, because the conditions were getting bad. But some of my teammates were still running. So I decided I was going to stay there and flag everything for everybody. So I stood out in the cold. I let everybody run 4 laps, send the other guy back, and so on until it's like 3 p.m. The sun's going down. So Cyril, my French teammate, gets done, and I said, "Hey man, you're the last guy. Let's go on back." So with these cars, normal deal is honestly for your mechanic, once you get done with the race, he'll stand on the back and hold on to the rear wing, and you'll drive around at a snail's pace and go back. So we were racing probably a mile out. That's an exaggeration. Probably half a mile out under this lake. And I get on the back of Cyril's car and I hold on and he starts driving. And we get halfway down and he stops. I'm like, what's he stopping for? And I hear him rev up and I'm like, oh, he's just, screwing with me. And he legit does a standing start. I mean, these cars like this is 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. He does a legit standing start with me hanging on the back. And I'm like, okay, he's messing with me. Like he gets to like 3rd or 4th gear. I'm like, all right, he's going to slow down. Like I'm hanging on. And he doesn't slow down. Like he's all the way up to top gear. I'm just hanging on. Because if I get slung, he obviously has no idea I'm on the back of this car. So if I get slung off in the middle of this blizzard in the snowbank, I'm gone. They're never going to find me. So then he stops to do another one and I get off and I walk the rest of the way back. But so that's probably the most terrifying moment I've ever had as an individual. But glad I can tell a story about it.
Yeah.
I feel like there was an episode of Top Gear that they did some ice racing on in Sweden. It seems like something that they did.
Seems like something that they would do if they didn't.
Yeah. It's fun. Would recommend. Maybe not for NASCARs, but for cars that are made for it.
I don't know. You throw some spike tires on a stock car, see what happens.
We're going to Bristol in dirt, so anything's possible at this point.
That is true.
I was thinking about this when you're talking about the being able to see cars in the rain. What if because you can throw on the windshield wiper and you've got the rain tires. What if there was part of that package like a reflective bumper cover that you just throw on? Because I would imagine rookies might be easier to see because they got that yellow stripe.
Yellow stripe.
So if you just had like a reflective cover.
I think that idea is phenomenal until you realize that our headlights are only stickers.
But the track lights.
Well, we didn't have any lights. That's why it was dark.
Just spitballing some ideas.
Yeah, I'm not shooting it down. I think it's a phenomenal idea.
Yeah.
Brainstorming there. Not a terrible idea. Except for the fact that there are no headlights. Just little stickers.
The sticker headlights. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll have headlights on race cars again. They had to take them.
Flash them too much.
Huh?
We flash them too much, just like the sports car guys. Whenever I got the headlight flashers, you're always behind somebody just flashing away.
So they're doing that just to mess with you, or?
Well, I mean, you're technically supposed to just do it in traffic, like, hey, I'm behind, I'm going to pass you, get out of the way. But I mean, you'll watch plenty of these IMSA races, like Mid-Ohio is a perfect example. Ricky Taylor and the Penske car is holding off Philippe Nasr in the Action Express car, and he's right on his tail on better tires the whole stint, just flashing every single straightaway, just to be annoying.
Huh.
I mean, who wouldn't, right?
Why not? Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. I don't know. We could go a lot of places next. We could stick with what we have. We could talk about the rest of the Roval and how Cup guys did, how we thought that there might be the repeat of rain again Sunday, but instead we got a little bit of wet and then it dried out, and boom, Chase wins again.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cup race played out in a favorable manner to most parties involved. You got to have a taste of a Cup race in the wet, but I think those cars would have, not the drivers, but the cars themselves would have definitely struggled more in those conditions just because they don't have the ride height rules that we do, and they have steel bodies. So I feel like the splitters that basically turned into spatulas on the Xfinity cars would pretty much get ripped off without a composite body. So I think that worked out for the best. And then we still obviously got to have a taste and different strategies and, the things that make rain racing fun, but in like a compact, here's stage one, and then let's do the real stuff now.
You get a taste of it, and then, okay, cool.
Little sampling.
Yeah.
Right.
I did notice that, and they brought it up on the broadcast, that Marcus Smith brought out the extra lights just in case. So on the infield section, there was a little bit more light in case we went later, because that could have happened.
Yeah, no, I think they did a good job at reacting to all that. Because I was watching the race from above on Sunday, and they put it all in the spots that needed it, which is pretty much the whole infield. So I think they would have already been a step better than what we had. So always learning. Hell
yeah. Well, this has been so far a good year for you guys and Team Penske in general, and especially you. I know you signed a multi-year extension. So, congratulations on that. But, yeah. I mean, exciting. 5 wins in the Xfinity Series? You and Chase Briscoe kind of trading blows there?
Yeah, he's stretched out a little bit more. But to follow up, obviously, been a really great year for us in the 22 team. Obviously, winning races, regular season championship, and got 4 more weeks to try and make it all count. So hopefully that's 5 wins and counting. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. And obviously, like you touched on there, really great opportunity for me in the future, kind of know what I'm doing for the next couple of years, which in this day and age, or even as a race car driver in general, kind of knowing what you have for a couple of years is hard to find. So I got a lot of things to direct my focus to now, and I'm excited for that. So get to come back and try again the Xfinity Series next year and get a little taste of some cup action, and then try and be ready for 2022.
2022 seems like it's so far away, but it'll be here.
It's not. I mean, 2021's almost here. Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, this season has flown by.
Yeah.
We got 4 races left. You touched on it. Like, all 3 series are in their final 4 races. Everybody's in that final stretch.
But the funny thing is, when we said 5 races this coming week, it was like, oh, it's 5 more races.
It sounded like a lot, but now you're like 4. That's almost over.
Yeah, like 4. Oh man, it's crunch time. It's you
done.
Gotta go. I mean, it's only a week ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not the only one.
This whole season has been weird like that. That it's like, it seems like it's so long, and then it's been compacted. It's weird. Time doesn't exist. It's not real. It's not a real thing.
Well, like for me, like I've got like, oh man, I'll do that in the off season. Oh, I'll do this in the off season. That's a good off season project.
Yeah.
Behind me. But now I've got to do all that stuff that I thought was going to be an off, and then now it's coming. So I got to put my money where my mouth is. So this car is going to get a lot of attention, hopefully here in the next month or so.
Do they still give you a trophy for being the regular season champion? I know they were doing that at the beginning. Do they still do that?
I did get a trophy. I quite like the trophy, actually. I almost think it's cooler than the full championship trophy. It's like bigger too. So yeah. I think it's cool, but I think it needs a friend. So I still got to work on that.
Sure. A pair.
That's right. A pair. A pair is, it's like having a dog. You need 2.
Yeah, you definitely need 2. I need a second dog for sure.
Because like right now we have 1 dog, and I'm his brother. Like I get on the floor and roll around with him. But I feel like if there was another dog there to do that, I would have less dog hair on all my clothes.
That's probably
what kind of dog is it?
He's a mutt. We did the doggy DNA test. I thought he was like some rare ancient Portuguese brand of dog or breed brand. And I was very convinced on all this, and we got the doggy DNA test back, and they're like, nah, he's just a bunch of things. I did get the lineage. So it's basically like a husky and a chow chow were his grandparents, and a Chihuahua and a Yorkie were his grandparents. And based on the anatomy, I would have to imagine that the Chihuahua Yorkie mix was his dad, because the husky chow chow probably wouldn't work the other way around. So anyway, that's Wallace. He's unique. He's brown and feisty.
How big of a dog is he?
Yay big.
Yeah, about yay big.
About yay.
Knee high to a grasshopper.
That's right.
Yeah. Chuck, when are you gonna get a dog? Do you even like dogs?
Yes, I love dogs. Okay. I don't like small dogs. I like a full size dog. You know.
That's my dog.
No, I don't want to get one right now in the pandemic because are you getting it because that's what you're home all the time, and if I go back to traveling again, I don't
True.
necessarily want to be like, hey, to my mom and my sister, can you watch my dog when I'm gone? So
I feel like it's now or never though, because you're always going to be traveling.
True.
Like, you might as well just make the most of it. Have your dog actually love you and know that he loves you, and then be able to segment off that dog and Chuck time. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, if it's a cute enough dog and a good enough dog, your mom and sister should want to watch it.
Right. Well, and both of them have older dogs, so if I bring a dog in now, then that helps the cycle.
The
circle of life. Yeah.
Yes.
I think their dogs are like
stagger.
14 and 12. They're old.
You need a youngin in there.
Yeah. I know exactly what I want to get though. I'm getting a plot hound. I think I've talked about it before on here.
A what?
A plot hound.
A plot hound.
Yeah, PLOTT, plot hound.
What's the attraction?
It's it is the North Carolina State dog, that was bred originally in Jackson County, North Carolina, for hunting. So they're sort of like a lab with a spotted coat hound dog type thing going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have long ears? Short ears?
Long ears. It's a hound dog.
It's a hound dog.
Yeah.
Don't hounds usually tend to smell a little? Like you have to bathe them more regularly?
I think like most dogs can smell.
I think hounds though, that breed typically are a little bit mustier smelling.
Sounds like you didn't have a very good experience with hounds.
I feel like I've read that. I've never had a hound. We always had dogs growing up, and I don't think any of them were ever hound breed. But I like most dogs.
I was looking to see if my roommate was here. He had for a little bit a little small
Huntable.
Yes, and it ate my food, and
oh no,
it was just not. I hate small dogs. I'm not a fan of small
dogs. Not about small dogs. I would never. If there's one thing I can control in whatever future relationship I have, it is not small dog.
Yeah.
I'll take throw pillows over small dog any day.
It's got to be able to sit in the passenger seat of the car, and you think maybe that's a person.
Yeah, I would agree.
If I step on it, I'm not going to kill it.
Right.
That is also true.
Or roll over in the middle of the night,
squish it. You don't want to be squish hazard.
Although there is one type of small dog that I would consider,
which is
a dachshund. I don't know what it is about them, but they have a lot of personality.
They do.
And they're cool. They're just kind of cool dogs. They're pretty chill, but they got weird little short legs.
Yeah. You a hot dog guy?
Huh?
You like hot dogs? Is that how this?
I mean, it could be. It could be that I like hot dogs. I mean,
okay.
I got to ask this question. Sandwich or taco? Is a hot dog a sandwich or a taco?
Is a hot dog a taco or a sandwich?
Yeah.
What is a hot dog? What does it classify as?
I've never heard of the taco reference. I've always been asked, is a hot dog a sandwich? There's no or. But I'm passionately against the fact that it is either a sandwich or a taco. Taco, very creative, but the hot dog is the sausage.
Yeah.
The bun, the taco, whatever, is the vessel that carries.
Yes.
We talked about this. You and I have talked about this. I was dressed as the penguin the last time we talked about this. Very passionate. Hot dog is the sausage.
That was I remember that. That was a good conversation. I also
does that mean you're team sandwich?
No, it's neither.
It's neither.
It's its own thing.
No, the hot dog itself is, you don't buy a package of them all put together.
Yeah. Okay.
But
maybe a hot dog needs to be its own category. Why wouldn't a taco be a hot dog technically?
Do you ever buy sandwiches that are pre-sandwiched? Can you buy a pack of sandwiches?
I mean, you can.
From a vending machine.
But are they packed It's just one that's wrapped up.
But they don't call those hams. They call it a ham sandwich.
That is fair. So would it be a hot dog sandwich, a sausage sandwich?
So that's the debate.
A link. Actually, you should just call it a link because it could be depends on what kind of, you could have a brat, you could have a
So then a hamburger.
sausage, all beef.
What's a hamburger?
A hamburger is a sandwich.
Hamburger is the type of meat.
It's a hamburger sandwich.
The type of meat. You get.
We just need to start throwing sandwich at the end.
But that's also like saying horse riding versus horseback riding. Like, where else are you going to ride the horse?
I mean,
easy, Chuck.
Easy there, Charles.
this is not.
I mean, so you got to
Victoria
abbreviate. Like,
handicap.
I can appreciate the efficiency, but the hot dog is the sausage. Hamburger is the meat.
Well, I think we can all agree that they are delicious.
Here's a question. Why do we not eat corn dogs like a corn on the cob? Like this.
So psychopath would do that. That's terrifying.
If somebody does that, if you see somebody eating a corn dog like that, what is your first response?
I walk away. I walk away.
Do you call the police because maybe they might be a serial killer?
I mean,
that's like the person that takes the bite of a burrito on the middle instead of long ways.
Or like a banana. You don't eat the banana perpendicular to the, it's completely wrong.
Here's a question. Do you eat a banana like a monkey does or like a human does?
Are you saying, do I leave it in the peel while I'm eating it?
No, like monkeys are very ingenious in that they hold the stem part and they peel it from what we consider the end. So you have a built-in handle, which is not the popular way to do it for the human species. So we always break the stem and peel it downward, when if you break it from the bottom, you technically have a built-in handle for your banana.
So I've never heard of it explained that way, but if I have a stubborn stem and I can't get it to open, it actually is extremely easier to open it from the bottom. So that's why I will have gone from the bottom to the top. But otherwise, no, I guess I'm a basic human.
Started at the bottom, now we're here.
That's right.
Yeah. This is the second time bananas have come up in 2 weeks, because Ryan almost ate a banana on camera last week. It's like, just
don't make eye contact with the camera while you eat.
Break it apart.
It's potassium. It's nutritious.
No, it's great. They're great.
What you're getting at here.
I love bananas. It's just
he's promoting healthy eating.
But in the world that we live in, if you were to eat a banana on camera, somebody's going to freeze frame that, and somebody's going to make a meme. So
you're sick.
We're just trying to.
They got horse riding screwed up the wrong way.
Look, man, I watch a lot of weird documentaries.
Moving on.
Okay. Define documentary.
Yeah.
No,
What's the
okay.
classification standard for a documentary?
It's a video that's on the internet. That's a documentary, right? That's
Did you watch that My Octopus Teacher?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't
either.
No, the reason I say that is there was always the was it Queen Victoria that they always made that? No, Russia, Queen Anne? Catherine the Great. Catherine the Great. That's who it was. They always made the there was always the rumor that she may or may not have had horsey friends.
Yeah, I did hear that. It's funny. I learned that in 10th grade. You don't think they'd teach you that in school, but it came up.
That is a very good question. Like, especially with a lot of historical things. They don't teach it in school, but then somebody in the class knows it. So is it that they go home and it's like, oh, we're talking about Catherine the Great in school today. And their dad's like, oh, you know what they said about Catherine the Great?
No, they watch movies like The Favorite. Did you ever watch that?
Mm-mm.
That's where.
Okay. I haven't seen The Favorite.
I don't think that one's not about Catherine the Great, but it's definitely rumor-esque things about royalty.
Well, I'm the student that would have asked my teacher. By would have asked, I mean I am the student that asked my teacher if she had any idea about it, which sparked great class discussion and pretty much stalled out the class, which was usually my goal as a student.
Yeah, divert.
Hey, that's the fun. Well, that's how you learn. That's learning. It's not stalling things out. You're asking questions, and questions promote learning and understanding.
Fair.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know who, needed to hear this, but I'm going to say it. Columbus never set foot in North America. So,
yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
But we always think, Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, and he found America, the end.
Also, America found him. He was the one lost.
We need to have Leif Erikson Day. Because
I like that. I like a good Viking story.
The Vikings came over here like 500 years before.
I know.
Yeah.
And Vikings are way cooler.
Isn't that a SpongeBob thing? Leif Erikson Day?
It might be.
That was definitely in SpongeBob.
SpongeBob was a little bit past but if you say so.
Had Leif Erikson Day in SpongeBob.
And see,
that's how I learned about Leif Erikson. SpongeBob.
That is great. That's what I love about cartoons too, is that they teach you as well as entertain. SpongeBob, I saw a thing on the internet the other day about it, a documentary, if you will, that was basically talking about how they were promoting or creating awareness for pollution because all of the houses in Bikini Bottom are car mufflers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Some hidden teachable moments.
Rocco's Modern Life was big for that.
That is true.
Day, until just now, I did not even think that those were car mufflers.
And you're a car guy.
I watched SpongeBob my entire childhood. I've known cars my entire life, and I never knew that those were car mufflers.
SpongeBob lives in a muffler. No, he lives in a pineapple under the sea. Absorbent in yellow.
But all the regular people that you don't care about, those are car mufflers. 100%.
Apparently, Leif Erikson Day is already a day. It's October 9th.
What just happened?
Yeah. Why didn't we celebrate that?
We should. Random sideways note, because you were talking about pineapples. Have you seen where they have engineered a pink pineapple? Like the inside is pink, but they go for $46 a pop.
I'd buy one.
There's a name for them too.
Would you eat it though?
They're really pretty.
Or would you just?
Would I eat it?
It's
if it tasted like a pineapple, I love pineapples.
Is this like a pink lemonade thing? Is it just because it's pink?
No, they've cross-engineered it. It's called, it might just be a pink pineapple. I feel like it's very much if you're a social media influencer, you probably would spend the money to get a photo. It's called a pink glow pineapple, and it took 15 years for Del Monte to develop it.
What?
Yeah, I meant to send that. It says,
I want to know how you pitched that to the execs at Del Monte.
Yeah.
To get the funding to do that. It's so I have this idea. Pink pineapples.
$49 a pop per pineapple.
How much was it?
$49 per pineapple.
Wow. I mean that's racking up the development costs from 2005.
Yeah, exactly.
15 years ago.
But if you start selling these, you're going to make that money back in no time.
I mean,
influence.
I'd buy one. Probably never would buy one again, but I'd buy one.
What if it's the best pineapple you've ever had?
Then I'll tell everyone else that it's the best pineapple I've ever had and go back to buying orange or yellow ones.
I've never been a big pineapple fan.
It says the so-called jewel of the jungle is billed as both juicier and sweeter than a traditional pineapple, featuring a delicious and completely unique taste that boasts notes of candy aromatics.
But it sounds like a new candy flavor, like blue raspberry, pink pineapple.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think that's the market they've opened up. We could make a pink pineapple candy. And everyone wouldn't care about the actual pink pineapple. It's the candy.
Maybe that was the long game. That was Ted Del Monte was you know what? I want pink pineapple candy.
Ted? Is that a real person?
I don't know. Totally made that up. Yeah, Ted Del Monte. That's the head of Del Monte Foods, right?
I don't foresee his first name being Ted.
Really? I think Ted is a...
You never know in this day and age.
What's the translation of Del Monte? Because it might not even be a name.
Well, it's two words. It's Del Monte. It's two.
Let me see if it'll come up.
Del Monte Foods.
Oh, I don't know that it translates. I don't know if it's a name or if it is directly translatable. I feel like it would be a name, right?
Hotel Del Monte. Yeah, like that.
No,
I got nothing.
I don't either.
Huh.
I mean, what do they do? Mostly like
Maybe Jim
like
Del Monte.
like fruits.
I'd buy fruit from a Jim Del Monte or a Ted Del Monte. I'm just saying, like, good strong first name. I'm gonna buy some fruit from you.
Maybe.
You seem like a fruit salesman that I want to be a part of. It was probably just I don't know.
I don't even think there was like a guy, because this guy George Newell Armsby is the one coming up when you search Del Monte.
Yeah,
Well, that's why I think it's a term.
I think so too.
Like, I mean, Monty is like, that sounds like mountain.
Monte Casino, Monte
Python.
Monte Carlo. What is it?
Oh, I think it was a hotel first, and that's where they got the name from. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
These are the rabbit holes that
Yes.
we end up going down of what does it mean. There's a Del Monte family history. Just saying.
Maybe there is a Del Monte
on
family.
Ancestry.com.
Oh,
Like the 8th page on Google.
Yeah.
I have my computer up so I can, when these things come up, I can just go down these rabbit holes.
It could be something random though, like for instance, Walmart family, like their last name's not Walmart.
True.
I mean, it's not Sam Walmart.
Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah.
Dimstone Dimmadome.
Sam Walton. Walton is the name. Huh. Oh, well.
Yeah, Walton.
Just.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
So many things.
For your pink pineapples.
Yeah.
Walton.
Yeah. Anyway.
Pink pineapples. You can give out the pineapples on Halloween. I was going to try and make a transition from pink pineapples to the glow of the lightsaber that was created. I don't think it's a pink. There's not really a pink lightsaber.
It wasn't like a transition. That was like a.
No, you could use the lightsaber to cut the pineapple.
You don't make the jump. You actually fall.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first of its kind. I mean, the first pink pineapple, first actual retractable lightsaber.
See, that's why we need Austin Cindric on the shows, because he can make these transitions.
Save you.
He's good at shifting gears.
Hey.
No thanks. That was bad.
That was terrible.
I know.
That was horrible.
But I'm here for it, and I apologize immediately for making a bad pun.
I'm excited about the lightsaber because there's nothing more intriguing to me than picturing just like 8 or 9 people going to battle for our entertainment with a lightsaber. Like, this is how modern era gladiators start up.
Yeah. The thing that it's sort of like, to me, watching it, it's like a hybrid of Ghostbusters and Star Wars, because
You got the backpack.
yeah. So now they can't compact it all into the actual saber part. They have to have it connect to a backpack, so it looks like a Ghostbusters backpack. But it's exciting to, like, it can cut stuff, and it doesn't, like, because that's the thing when you look at, like, the lightsaber, right? It stops.
Yep.
How does it just stop? I think
that was the difficult part.
Yeah.
They couldn't figure out how to. You can make a bright laser beam that cuts through shit, but
it keeps going.
How do you get it to stop?
So that's where people smarter than me, way smarter. It's like the guy that came up with the pink pineapple. They're thinking outside the box.
I'm more on board with the lightsaber guy than the pink pineapple guy.
How long did the lightsaber though take? That's the real question. Did it take 15 years of R&D?
I mean, the concept of the lightsaber, 1970, when was the first Star Wars? 1970?
79.
79?
Sure.
So that's the inspiration.
77.
77.
Yeah, so I guess technically, if you're taking that into consideration, the development was even longer.
But I mean, George Laser came up with the first laser back in
laser.
Here's my pun. The fruits of this guy's development are much, much higher.
I like it.
Like that?
I like it. It works.
First laser was 1960 by Theodore H. Maiman.
Maiman.
So it was not George
But
Laser.
wasn't it originally an acronym?
I think you're right. I think I've heard that before.
Like the word laser was an acronym originally, I thought.
There's something because you like.
Or taser. I know taser was an acronym. I think, but it was like.
I think it was like terminology light amplification by stimulated emission or of radiation.
See.
Laser.
I'm good for something here.
Laser.
Look at that.
Yeah. See, that's why we bring Kim on the show all the time. Not all the time. She's
Once in a
on the
while,
show. Yeah.
got some useless knowledge that helps us out.
You have a lot of useless knowledge. Don't sell yourself
I do.
short.
I am filled with junk knowledge.
That's why we do this show.
Yeah, that's true.
We need an outlet for like an hour a week to just expel shit for an hour to be like, okay, good. Now I can go have a normal conversation with people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, something that's been of mine for me the last couple months on the Star Wars topic. I have been binge watching the Star Wars Clone Wars cartoon for about the last month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I understand that Ahsoka Tano is supposed to be in the new Mandalorian this season. So I'm trying to get educated on that front. There's something empowering as an adult watching a cartoon.
I would agree.
So I'm halfway through being caught up with all 6. There's like 20 episodes a season. It's ridiculous.
I haven't watched it yet. Do you recommend it? Is it a good?
It's not bad. It's not like you're not sitting there the entire time. Like you're actually surprised they let kids watch something. I mean, there's still people getting stabbed and so on. Like it's still full on Star Wars. There's some episodes that are a bit useless as far as like the reason why I'm watching them. Like a lot of it's for me. I'm there for the character development. They're just there to entertain a bunch of 8 to 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's been good. But I think there's something about her story that I don't know, like why she's not a Jedi and all this other stuff that I'm still trying to understand.
Okay. That's like the one, like I'm big with like the movies and all that, and Mandalorian. I mean, Mandalorian was just amazing. That first season was probably one of the best TV shows I've seen in a while. I mean, this is the way.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Kim?
I have not watched The Mandalorian.
It's so good.
What?
Maybe I'll put it on my list as like my off-season
I mean,
binge.
the directors just alone.
I've heard it's great.
The directors alone are amazing.
Okay.
Like, the guy that did Jojo Rabbit is in it and directs a couple of the episodes. I knew that would get you.
Yeah, that would get me. I did love Jojo Rabbit.
Highly recommend you start that.
Noted. I'm about to finish Schitt's Creek. I'm like a third of the way through the final season. So once I finish that, I will put it on the docket.
Yeah, that's a must. Like you don't even have to be a Star Wars fan to like that.
Fair.
Yeah. Because it's kind of disjointed. Like there is an overarching like season plot, but each episode is kind of self-contained and gives you this,
Okay.
cool.
Have you heard how like they call like Star Wars like a space western? Like that's a term they use a lot.
Yeah.
This is like the space western of space westerns. Like it is totally a western.
Okay.
And the music's spaghetti westernish. Like it gives you that sort of Italian feel. Yeah.
Okay.
It's good stuff.
I'm sold. You sold me. You don't need to sell anymore. It's on the list.
That's the trouble. I tend to like oversell stuff.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. It's probably why I'm single. Because I probably oversell myself.
Oh.
That's a bad joke. Sorry.
Ah.
Anyway, Kansas is coming
This is
up.
where you flash your number up on the bottom of the screen, Chuck, for all the single ladies.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to go out that like that route. No offense to the hundreds of glass holes that are out there, tens of glass holes that are out there.
Just like 1-800 to date me.
1-800
dog to fix that.
There you go.
Well, a dog. I've got a nice deck now, so I can go hang out with the dog on the deck. It really is all building up to a dog, and then
And then a date.
Right.
Deck, dog, date. That's a timeline.
Don't know how long the timeline is, but it is a.
Well, you're only on part 1 of the timeline. So deck, dog, date. You're still working on the deck part.
Right.
Then you move into the dog phase, then the date phase.
Kim and I just set up a dating plan for you within.
You did. We're your consultants.
Let's go.
You're welcome.
Coon and Cindric, dating consultants.
CNC.
LLC. CNC LLC.
CNC LLC. I like it.
There you go. You could also start a music factory.
Or that.
That one might be a little bit before Austin's time. CNC Music Factory. Did they do?
I'm not even that familiar with.
Did they do I Got the Power?
I mean, you said CNC, and I'm thinking like machining.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like I thought CNC.
Yeah.
Like I've got a lathe behind me, but I don't have a CNC. I mean, that's a bit too much.
It's aggressive.
CNC Music Factory. CNC Music Factory was gonna make you sweat. Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was things that make you go,
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Things that make you go,
Was that early 90s?
Yeah, 89 to 96. And then they had a resurgence in 2010 to 2011.
Can't say I've ever heard of any of those songs, but they sound spicy.
I guarantee you would know them if you heard them.
I would agree.
But given like copyright laws and all that and podcasting, can't quite play it. And I mean, Kim could try and sing it, but it never ends well.
Never ends well and drives away lots of viewers and listeners.
Yeah, MRN has been on her about that for years. So
I always enjoy listening to whenever I'm at the racetrack watching the Cup races, and I switch over to the MRN channel to where you can hear what you guys say, like outside of the broadcast, and you do some singing.
I do some singing. I have some joke telling I partake in, lots of puns. So it's very entertaining for those of you who make it out to the track.
I enjoy it, but it's so much so that I'll laugh while you guys are talking about it, and I'll be in like this serious room with all these people from Penske or our sponsors who are intently watching the race, or maybe something bad has happened in the race.
Yeah.
And they're not overly excited. I'm just sitting there giggling in my seat.
I feel like there have been several times that like I've heard Kim say something when I've been at the track and like sent a text like really.
I'm not shy to drop some innuendos too.
It's also fun if you're standing on pit road because it's coming in real time. So like when you see the reporters talking in the microphone, like I'm listening to it and I see them talk. And when they're doing, is it the cue? Is that what y'all call it? The off air?
The cue.
Like see that and I just like I want to go over and just be like just stop, just it's funny, it's good, I get it, it's great, but it's like come on.
Yep. They
say the same thing about this show. So
fair.
Anyway. Well, Austin.
Anyway, Kansas
is coming up. This is how we generally wrap up the show. We go to, what's coming up next week?
Got it. Kansas is coming up. Kansas, the round of 8 race in Kansas has sucked for me the last 2 years in a row. So.
But you won Texas earlier this year.
I did. You're right. Well, Kyle Busch did win Texas till he failed heights.
But I mean,
it's not.
Technically, yes. I have the cowboy hat and the trophy.
Yes.
So I'm all about it.
So they just hand you that cowboy hat in like the parking lot, or they're like, "Hey, here's
pretty much."
Hat. Yeah.
So victory lane photos for me. Another good story. I'll try and keep it short.
You're good. You're good.
No, you're good.
My victory lane photos, I'm wearing my street clothes because it was like an hour after the race. Like I had taken off the fire suit and everything. Well, I traveled to Texas and forgot my luggage in my car. And we traveled there the day before, so I didn't wear any of my actual team clothes. So I had to go to Walmart to get pants, underwear, shirt, everything. And the only thing I had, luckily, was my Penske pullover. So that's what I'm wearing in my victory lane photo in 110-degree weather, wearing a pullover, because that's all I had with team branding. So that's a good capture of that memory. But yeah, Kansas, looking forward to it. We led a lot of laps there and finished second. So excited about that. Hopefully everything doesn't go down the toilet like it has the last 2 years at that race in particular. So do my best to prevent the flushing and try and win a race.
Here's a question. I know we're trying to end here, but you're talking about technically winning Texas, made me think about it. Which would you say is a more legitimate win? Is if you are the second place finisher and the first guy's cheated technically because he hasn't finished inspection, so you end up getting the win, or it's like a rain shortened race, you're leading but the race isn't finished but you win, which is like they're obviously both wins and they're both legitimate wins, but like which is the better win?
So I've only obviously been on the one side of things.
Yeah, you've only been on the one side, but like thinking about it,
I feel
what
like
would you be more proud of?
So it's not like we weren't a factor in that race. Like I ran him down, we raced for a little bit, he won the race. Beat me on the final restart, he won the race. So felt like we deserved to finish second. That's probably why, first place. Yeah, it's cool, it's great, it's trophy, it's points, and we're still the best ones there that passed tech. But the rain thing, I think, would probably be a little bit better because you can still go, yeah, but nobody else did that. We still won.
Yeah, you were leading.
You can still blame yourselves for putting yourself in that position. You still take some blind sense of pride.
Okay.
But I'll still take the
Curious?
win. Any scenario, I'll take the win.
Because I feel like the rain shortened one. A lot of times that's a strategy call, like to stay out or like it. I think it all.
But if you're the second place guy and you win because the first place guy has essentially cheated, if they hadn't had a cheated up car, I say cheat loosely because it didn't pass inspection, then technically if their car wasn't the way they had built it, would you not have been leading if they hadn't done that?
Yeah, I think it's a valid question. I mean, in my scenario, we're talking small fractions of inches.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they gave him a chance and they didn't. So it's a win. I mean, It was so much so that I walked out of the hauler and like everybody's congratulating me. And I'm like, for what? like I'm going home. And they're like, no. 54 is going to fail tech. Just wait 30 minutes. So I'll take it.
Take it, and you got the cowboy hat to prove it.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to cue up the exit music so we can wrap the show up. It's basically a minute, 30 seconds where we can just wrap up our conversation and, put a bow on it, if you will. And also tell all of the fans to rate and review in iTunes, subscribe in YouTube, download this where all podcasts are downloadable. And,
Go buy Austin Cindric shirts. Sell them out again.
Yes. Do that. Hopefully we'll have more. Actually, I know what I'm doing, so hopefully that means we can make more t-shirts.
Yeah,
that's a positive. You said put a bow on things. Chuck, do you wrap your Christmas presents?
I attempt to, but I don't put bows on them.
Oh god. I can do fancy bows if you want to hire me.
Actually, I generally will go and buy a bag and like put the gift in there with tissue paper on top.
You're a bad guy.
Yeah.
That is the lazy man's wrapping.
Hey, for my niece's birthday back in July, I stopped at the Walgreens on the way to my sister's house, grabbed a couple of, she was big into unicorns, so unicorn coloring book, unicorn bag, boom. She never knew the difference.
That's true.
They're kids, they don't know. But, do you wrap?
I do wrap. All my Christmas present wrapping is in Star Wars wrapping paper, so you know which ones are from me.
Okay.
The first one looks terrible. The last one looks immaculate. It's always a process of remembering what to do.
I like it.
Much like this show, it's always a process of remembering what to do.
I wrap my brother's first, and then I wrap my mom's last. So
smart man.
That's a good worker.
Well, Austin, thank you for joining us. And so Glassholes, have a good day. Any final thoughts?
No. Let's go to Kansas.
Woo.